going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, it's going to be me predicting the 2020-2021 NFL season. I did this last year. Uh, I was not right on the Super Bowl prediction at all. And then I did playoff prediction after that. Let's just say last year wasn't exactly a good year for me predicting. I had a few teams pretty much exactly right, but a couple other teams, like I had the Rams and Jaguars making the playoffs, and they did not even come close. So there might be a few teams like that this year. There usually is. It's not going to be 100% perfect. I'm going to say go off of standings rather than records necessarily, because I know some of these records ended off really weird. Like if you go down here, I don't think there's going to be 0-16 teams. I don't even think there will be a 1-15 team. But I do think the Jaguars are last, the Jets, and then the football team. That I do think those will be the standings, at least for the bottom three. I do think the Chiefs will probably also have the best record, along with the Ravens, probably. So, AFC overview, NFC overview. We're gonna start with the AFC North on my just team by team overview. Ravens at 13-3, winning the division. Steelers second. I expect them to be at 9 wins, not 13, but I do expect them to be at 9 wins. And the Browns, I also expect to be about this record. I just don't think that they'll beat the Steelers, and I think they'll just miss the playoffs. And then the Bengals last in the division. AFC South, the Titans winning it. I don't expect them to be 12-4. I think they'll be a 9 or 10 win team. Then the Texans, and Colts, I think either one of them could get this second spot. I'm gonna give the edge to the Texans though. They could have the same record too. I'm not ruling that out. I expect the Colts to be more of 8-8, but the Texans definitely getting the second playoff spot in the AFC South, and then Jaguars not winning the division. I do think that they'll have the first pick next year. AFC East, we have Patriots at 11-5. I don't think they'll win the division. I think they'll be maybe a 9 or 8 win team. I don't think that they'll be an 11 win team. They are my favorite team, but I didn't let bias get in the way of this. I'm not going to, at least. So even though the Patriots won the division, I don't think that they'll actually win the division. I think the Bills will at maybe a 10-6. I don't think this division's going to be very good. All these teams have tough schedules. Dolphins at 6-10, maybe 5-11, but I kind of like that for the Dolphins. And then the Jets obviously losing the division after trading Jamal Adams. They don't really have anyone else left on that defense to really make an impact, especially with CJ Mosley sitting out. I just don't think that they'll be very good this year at all. AFC West, we got the Chiefs at 14-2, winning the division. The rest of these teams, honestly, could surprise and make the playoffs. Like the Broncos, I was expecting to make the playoffs, but it's now Von Miller's out, and they haven't replaced him yet. He's a big part of the team. I don't expect them to do very well without him. Hence 6-10. Chargers 5-11. This was higher, but then I dropped it. Tyrod Taylor is going to be starting. But I do think that they'll have a really good defense this year. Kind of like the Broncos. I also think they'll have a good defense. Not as good anymore. I do think the Chargers are going to have a really good defense. I just don't think they'll be able to score with Tyrod Taylor as much as I think they could. I mean, they could, but I don't see it happening. Then the Raiders at 4-12. The Raiders, I think, are still going to be bad. I mean, they made a lot of good moves, but they're still not really a good team. So I have them at 4-12. I don't necessarily yeah, I'd say a 4-12 record would be good for that. Now on to the NFC North, we have the Packers at 13-3, winning the division. Then the Vikings at 7-9, Bears 6-10, Lions 4-12, and I honestly think these teams could switch. I'd probably say switch the Lions and Bears. Because Matthew Stafford, before he got injured last year, was playing amazing. I think he could carry that into this year, especially with some of the draft moves the Lions made, getting DeAndre Swift, Jeff Okudah. They can move over the Bears, and I think the Bears are going to be the 4-12 team. They don't have a quarterback still. I think they just need to reset. They need to reset the team. Vikings at 7-9, just missing the playoffs also. They lost Stephon Diggs. They lost quite a bit of talent, I think, and they replaced them with rookies that I don't think can make an immediate impact. NFC South, 3 teams making the playoffs. And then the Panthers at 6-10. I don't think Teddy's the answer, but I don't think he'll completely be terrible. I just don't think he'll be the answer that the Panthers are looking for. Plus, the Panthers, I don't think they could even compete with the Falcons, Saints, and Buccaneers with the talent on these 3 teams. The Falcons, 11-5. I'm maybe a 10-6, but I like that. I like that for the Saints. Maybe switch the Saints and Buccaneers records. That's one thing, yeah. Switch the Saints and Buccaneers records, and I think this will be perfect. But yeah, these 2 teams will for sure be in the playoffs. NFC East, I have the Cowboys at 10-6 winning it. Eagles 8-8. I'm kind of surprised. I kind of have them as the same boat as the Cowboys, where it's like 9-7, 9 or 10 win team for both. So either way, I think the Eagles could squeak into the playoffs, but just with the talent in the NFC, I don't think that's gonna. I don't know. It might not happen. They could replace the Falcons. I guess they could replace the Falcons, but other than that, I don't think the Eagles will make the playoffs. Giants, then the Washington football team. Yeah, pretty much. Giants, they're not really good teams, and Giants have a special teams coach as their head coach. So, NFC West, Seahawks winning it, 49ers in second. 49ers didn't lose a lot. I mean, I don't think the Seahawks really did either, though. They also gained Jamal Adams. I think that's going to boost them pretty high, especially with a defense that was already halfway decent before. That could boost them. I think that could boost them at the top of the division. Cardinals 8-8. I don't expect them to be that high. I expect maybe a 6 or 7 win season for the Cardinals. They signed DeAndre Hopkins. But if they do make the playoffs, then I definitely think Kyler Murray's going to win MVP. If not, maybe I don't want to say Mahomes again. I might go with either Tom Brady or Drew Brees, maybe. I don't know. That's just throwing a name out there. MVP is kind of hard this year. And then the Rams at 4-12. Again, like the Bears, I think they need a reset also. They're not the same team they were that Super Bowl season. And yeah, I think they need to hard reset the team just like Chicago does in order to get back to where they were not that long ago. So that is the division by division, I guess, kind of standings. Now I gotta go into each. Let's look at our playoffs here. I mean, normally I do these off camera, but since I just did the regular season scheduling, I'm doing these on camera so you can also hear how I think these will end out. So if these are the playoff matchups, Patriots, Steelers, I don't know. It is still a Bill Belichick team. I'm gonna go. And it's in Gillette. I'm gonna go with the Patriots just because it's in Gillette. I think if it was at Heinz Field, I would go with the Steelers. For me, this would be a hard game to pick. Yeah, it's just because Bill Belichick, it's still gonna be his defense. It's still gonna be a good defense. I'm gonna go with the Patriots. Bills, Titans. I'm gonna go with the Titans. Texans, Ravens. Go with the Ravens. Some of these are self-explanatory, I'd say. Bills have a defense, but the Titans, Derrick Henry can show up in the playoffs. We know that now. 49ers, Cowboys. 49ers. Yeah, even if the Cowboys make the playoffs, I don't think they'll go far. Packers Saints. It's just like last year for me. I don't see Drew Brees winning. I mean, they went all in this year, but I just think there's some teams that they just are not going to be able to beat in the playoffs. I think the Packers are one of those teams. If they go to Lambeau, if they're in the Superdome, again, I go with the Saints. But if they're in Lambeau, I'm going with the Packers. Seahawks, Falcons. I'm gonna go with Seattle. I think the Falcons are going to be, if they make the playoffs, they're going to be a weak playoff team. I don't expect them to do much if they even make the playoffs. I don't know. They might not even do that much in the regular season. Like I said, the Eagles could take them over. Either way, I think the Seahawks are going to win either one of those two games. So we got the divisional round now. Patriots, Chiefs. Chiefs. Patriots don't have the talent this year to beat the Chiefs, I don't think, at all. They would the last 2 years, or like 2 years ago at least, but Bucks 49ers, I'm gonna go with the Bucks. It's in Tampa Bay. It's playoffs. You got Tom Brady in the playoffs, and along with Gronk. Assuming no injuries, you can't. I mean, I'm assuming that these teams are gonna be the star players are gonna be fine. Just because it's Madden, and I'm not predicting week by week. But I can throw in my week 1 prediction at the end of the year, or at the end of this video, just in case. I think I'll do that. I'll do that at the end of the video. Ravens, Titans. The rematch. I think the Ravens just got a lot of talent, and I don't see the Titans beating them again. I do think every year I do think Lamar is going to have a drop off. It just doesn't happen. It hasn't happened yet. This might be the year that Lamar actually goes pretty far in the playoffs. I just don't see another combination in the AFC that's not Chiefs and Ravens this year in the conference championship. Packers, Seahawks. I had a lot of faith in the Seahawks in the playoffs last year, but it's the Packers and it's on the road. Seahawks got Greg Olsen, and they got Jamal. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks over the Packers. The Packers didn't do enough this offseason in order to be competitive. Plus, the receiver they signed, Devin Funchess, is not playing. He's opted out. So, Patriots have the most opt-outs. I don't. Like I said, and I know I didn't say this yet, but the Patriots did have the most opt-outs. So it's very possible that they don't make the playoffs. The only other team I could think of that didn't make the playoffs would be the Browns, maybe. I don't think the Browns will make it over the Patriots. The Broncos could, so I think that's maybe one team. But then Von Miller got injured. So I think the Patriots still have a better chance than they do at making it. The other team maybe would be the Colts, but we don't know how Phillip Rivers is going to play, so... Ravens, Chiefs. I got the Chiefs beating the Ravens. Shocker, right? Chiefs going to the Super Bowl this year. I'm predicting it this year, though. I do think the Chiefs will go to the Super Bowl this year. They didn't lose a lot of talent. The Ravens did get a lot of talent. I still don't believe in Lamar to actually go to the Super Bowl. I still don't think he'll play super well in the playoffs. I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Ravens. Buccaneers, Seahawks. I don't think another team can step up to the... It's kind of like the Chiefs. I don't think another team can step up to the Chiefs or Buccaneers when they're in the playoffs this year. I just don't see that happening. Like, I don't think the Seahawks will be able to beat I don't think the Seahawks or the Ravens will be able to win against these two teams. I just think these two teams are the best... are the clear best two teams in the NFL this year, and I don't think either of these teams are going to miss the Super Bowl. They might, who knows? Like I said, injuries could happen. But I don't think either of these teams, as of right now, are going to miss the Super Bowl. I think they're too talented to miss the Super Bowl. Buccaneers and Chiefs in the Super Bowl. My Super Bowl predictions: the Buccaneers this year. This isn't like the Browns hype, which I didn't believe in all the way. People were saying the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl, go to the Super Bowl. I didn't predict that last year. I had the Browns going to the playoffs, and I had the Browns losing, I think, in the first round. either first or second round. I didn't even expect him to go to the conference championship. The Buccaneers have proven talent. It's not like the Browns where everybody just expected that they'd all peak. The Buccaneers have proven talent on that team and proven playoff talent in Tom Brady and Gronkowski. Their defense their defense is underrated. They had to deal with Jameis Winston throwing 30 interceptions last year, put him in bad situations. And I think with Tom Brady at quarterback, that doesn't happen this year. I think the Buccaneers win the Super Bowl this year against the Chiefs. And you know, Super Bowl MVP. If I had to do Super Bowl MVP, I guess Tom Brady. I mean, it's usually always going to be a quarterback. My league MVP, like I said, probably Tom Brady or Drew Brees. Maybe Drew Brees, because like I said, before he got injured, he was playing like an MVP. I don't know how he's going to play though. 40 coming off a thumb injury. I think Drew Brees could get MVP though. That's probably my safe MVP pick, my bold one. If, like I said, if the Cardinals make the playoffs, I'm saying it's going to be Kyler Murray. I'm thinking maybe even Russell Wilson could get an MVP this season. Yeah, like MVP is hard for me. I don't think it's going to be Mahomes or Lamar again. It might be Mahomes again. I don't think it'll be Lamar again. My MVP is kind of like Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Tom Brady are kind of like my main MVP picks. And I'm just looking at the rest of these teams. I don't think anybody is going to stand out. So, yeah. So these are my week 1 picks in case I decide to do this week by week, every week. We got Texans, Chiefs. I got Chiefs winning this Thursday night game tonight as the date I'm recording this. Falcons beating the Seahawks in an upset. If this counts as an upset, this would be my upset of the week. Eagles against the football team. I have the Eagles winning, the Patriots beating the Dolphins. I had the Packers beating the Vikings, Colts beating the Jaguars, the Lions over the Bears, Ravens over the Browns, Bills over the Jets, and this I think is going to be my lock. Like I said, if I do this week by week, I'm going to have a lock of the week and upset of the week. That might be it. I might do those two, unless you guys have more ideas for more. But Bills over the Jets would be the lock of the week if I decide to do this week by week. Then Panthers over the Raiders, Chargers over the Bengals, Saints over the Buccaneers. Oh, game of the week could be that one, and I think it'll be this one, Saints Buccaneers. I think that's gonna be the game of the week. I do think the Buccaneers, like I said, I think the Buccaneers will go 12-4, even though I do think they're the best team in the NFC and maybe in the NFL. They got a bunch of new players, and they just have to get the chemistry built up, and I think once they do that, then take off. 49ers over the Cardinals, Cowboys over the Rams, Steelers over the Giants, and then Titans over the Broncos, if I do this week by week. If I don't do this week by week, the last, maybe, video is irrelevant. But Super Bowl, Buccaneers over Chiefs. Let's see what Madden thinks the score will be. 24-21. Okay. I'm not going to do a score prediction until I do my playoff predictions, but there you have it. This is going to be pretty much uncut. My 2020-2021 NFL season predictions. There they are. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.